Welcome back to Impact and Influence. This is Don McLean, and I'm here today with Desi Johnson II, Des2Fit. Des, thanks for joining us today.
Hey, thank you very much for having me. I appreciate you.
Yeah, of course. Let's start by telling the listeners a bit about Des2Fit. What is it? Why did you start it? That sort of thing.
Absolutely. You know what? Des2Fit is actually really two companies in one. Des2Fit is Des2Fit, Des2Fit Corporate Wellness. Basically, what we do, we are a corporate wellness organization and a fitness company that basically specialize in health, in fitness, and education. We do anything from specialized corporate wellness challenge programs, so managing organizations or corporations' health and fitness programs, to fitness camps. We do virtual and in-person fitness camps where we have all types of specialized classes. The classes range from yoga to stretching and meditation, to breathing techniques, to dance classes, to cardio kickboxing, to HIIT training and kickboxing. We do all of that, but we really pride ourselves in the educational aspect of health and wellness. Like many of you guys, I'm a busy family professional, and it's very important that we're taking that time to manage our nutrition, to manage our health, to make sure we take that time to exercise and be physically fit so that we can have that energy to perform at a high level in our career, and that we can also have that energy to perform at a high level when it comes to taking care of our families as well. I'm actually an area manager of a financial institution as well. So let me tell you why Des2Fit.
Got a lot going on.
Yeah. So Des2Fit really, began because once I got in corporate America, I saw that you can get consumed. You can get consumed with your project.
True.
Right? You can get so consumed with everything, with your projects. I mean, working late, going in early, and you start losing that focus on that, what a lot of people say, that self-love or that self-care, and I spent a lot of time as a part-time personal trainer. And one day I said, there's a niche market. There's a market out here. There was a lot of folks asking me nutrition questions, physical fitness questions, and different things like that. And I said, you know what? This is something that I could potentially make a product that can add value to, anywhere from small companies to the big companies to the community groups, whatever it may be. And I began it. And next thing you know, I created these fitness classes. I created these healthy lifestyle seminars, became a licensed nutritionist, became a licensed corporate wellness coach, became a licensed master personal trainer. And the rest is basically history, man. Just like that.
That's incredible. That's incredible. I mean, and you point out some great things there. What do you say to people that they say they don't have the time to work out? I'm too busy. I just don't have the time. What do you say to those folks?
You know what I say, as anything, I said that what we have to do, you have to prioritize the time. You have to make the time. So when you think about it this way, we have time to get up to go to work. Right? We make that time to study when we're going to school. We make that time to work on that project when we know that there's a deadline, right? So when it comes down to it, what's really important, right? Without your health, without your wellness, without your well-being, if you don't have that, those different things that you want to do, you may not necessarily be doing those at the highest level as possible. So carving out that time. But what I also say is this: no one's saying that you got to go to the gym 5 days a week.
Okay.
No one's saying that you have to be in the gym for an hour and a half or 2 hours a day. Just prioritizing a small bit of time to dedicate to that, to your healthy lifestyle. And what ends up happening is you learn to carve out a little bit more time, because you see what happens. Your energy is at a different level. Your body feels, a bit different. Your confidence is at another level. And again, you tend to carve out a bit more time because you see the positive results that, being focused or prioritizing your health and wellness, what it does to your life.
Now, do you tend to see that a lot, as people start these types of classes more, they go through them a little bit more, and they see that maybe their confidence is built up even at work, or those places where maybe they couldn't take time away from in the first place?
Absolutely. There's studies that show, that when you're really into where you're prioritizing your health and your fitness, man, it does something. It does something to your body. It does something to your energy. And you probably heard your statement before. If you look good, you feel good, right?
That's true. Yeah.
Right. So when you feel that you look good and you have that confidence about yourself, you're putting that positive energy and those positive vibes in the universe. You're putting all of that into space, and it really works. And what exercise does as well, it helps push away it's a lot going on right now. Obviously with depression, because of what we're dealing with in regards to COVID.
Absolutely.
And it really helps fight against a lot of that, because again, you're putting into yourself.
Absolutely. And that's a great point. And one thing I noticed about your programs and, doing a little of my own research, you have a great fun element, and the community building, you have the Fit Fam. And yes. I think it seems to make people really feel part of something bigger. Was that by design or
it was absolutely, it was by design. My goal was to create a fun, supportive environment, right. And this environment was, for us to be, to take care and support each other, but at the same time, be able to network and be able to lean on each other and, be able to get advice and watch each other grow and support each other when we fall down. And that's what I really love, about, the community that we created is really a family. And it started from, just a family of back when we were doing everything in the gym pre-COVID. And now, since we pivoted and restructured our company, we have people all over the nation now that's part of our Fit Fam in a matter of months. We were a Metro Detroit-based corporate wellness organization. I had contracts with a couple fitness studios in the area where we were running our challenge programs, our personal training, our fit camps, and different things like that. And we've blown up. But again, it's because of, as you mentioned, and what you see, the community element, the relationship element, and everyone knows that we are something. We're something big, and we're something big to each other, and we tend to continue to tap into the universe, and it's absolutely amazing.
I think that's incredible. When people have someone to lean on, I think that's a really unique aspect. And I love you repping the brand there with the glass.
Oh yeah, got the you know it. I almost ironed a Des2Fit sign on this, and I said, no, we'll keep it casual.
No, that's perfect. That's perfect. But I do love that sense of community, though. Obviously, I haven't taken the classes. I do plan to take some in the future, but that sense of community, it seems really different than other organizations that just have, a virtual, because everybody's gone virtual now.
Right.
But, you had that sense of community built beforehand, and now it's expanding more. So, congrats on that.
Thank you, man. Thank you. We appreciate that. It's a lot of energy and a lot of time. I was actually working before I got on the call here. There's a lot of energy and a lot of time that's put into this. But, again, my wife and I, we really enjoy doing what we're doing. And we have a very strong team. And again, when you have a strong supportive team and they're passionate about doing this, it adds so much to it.
Yeah, let's talk about your wife for a second, because with Victoria, it seems like you have such a great support system. When you're both teaching the classes together, I'm sure she's involved much more than anybody even realizes.
Right.
She also seems to be very much of an inspiration to you, in looking at your posts, and even I know local television tapping you guys for relationship advice and things like that.
Yeah.
What's that like, having such a strong support system?
It's amazing. It's something like, it's almost one of a kind, right? It's just like, how did this happen? Where I found myself in a situation that not only the person that I'm married with and we have a family with, and all of that good stuff, we actually run a company together. And we are responsible for coming together to, at a high level, take care of people all over right now. So it's amazing, and that's the reason why I make sure that she really knows and understands, how much she means to me, how much she means to the company, our Fit family, the organization. She's a very strong woman, and she's been through a lot, and she manages a lot, so with that, being said, I put her on the door. She's a mom of three. She's a respiratory therapist. Our middle daughter actually was born with a very rare respiratory defect 9 years ago, and she went through a most unbelievable surgery right when she was born. When she came home, she was on a respirator and oxygen. So there was a big span of time where my wife didn't work. I was working. She was a stay-at-home, and she was taking care of a baby that was very, very sick. During that time period, we decided that that she wanted to go back and change her career. She worked on the business side of the health field prior to.
Okay.
Yeah. And she decided to change her career, and she went to school for respiratory therapy while taking care of a sick baby with a respiratory defect. So though, again, I don't necessarily talk about that, on social media per se, but that is a big reason why I'm very proud of her, because she pushed through a very, very tough, challenging spot, and she changed her career, and she took care of our baby. My baby is fine now,
That's incredible.
Now,
Congratulations.
Yeah. Now what she did for her baby for all of those years, she's actually doing for other people, and she's taking care of people with, COVID right now.
Wow. That's incredible. And send our thanks to her for taking care of so many folks. I mean, folks on the front lines like that. It's incredible. So please thank her.
Absolutely, will do. She's taking care of folks right now. Like a little bit before the call, she actually went on into the hospital. They called her in.
Okay. Wow. You mentioned one of the things in there about making sure you let her know and people know when you're proud, or when you're grateful for them. How important is that? So many people take these things for granted, where it's just like, oh yeah, they're a good person, but I don't need to tell them every day. But I just believe in that positive reinforcement, so.
I think it's very important, and there was a time period in my life where I didn't necessarily know how important it was. You took those things for granted. But it is really important to make sure that you're constantly giving out that positive feedback, that positive energy, because one thing that I found out, that as humans, we're very quick to communicate a state what someone's doing wrong.
That's
But when
correct.
someone's doing something right,
Yeah.
when someone's doing right, we're just like,
Exactly.
oh, okay. Well, they're supposed to. But those kind words and that positive feedback, it does so much good. And that's what, we recently had a conversation about how it's so important to get back to those core things, especially when you're in a relationship or you've been married for a long time. What ends up happening is your day-to-day it almost turns into a schedule. All right.
You're right. You're right about that.
And then, but you forget, back when you first met and was courting or getting to know each other, and all the different spontaneous things that you did, spontaneous things that you said, the things that got you there, right? And it's just,
Exactly.
so you want to, they say this, you want to make sure you keep that fire lit.
That's amazing. And that's amazing. You can take a step back and really think about those things. Like you said, I think a lot of people just don't take that time. But I'm reading a few of my notes here now. I love when you and on social media specifically, you go to Des2 cents. I think that's great. We got Des2Fit, Des2 cents, so many other offshoots. But I want to do a little bit of a lightning round here because I pulled out 5 of what I think are some of the best pieces of advice you've given. Of course, this is just my opinion, but
yeah, we're good.
The first one is be fearless in the pursuit of what sets your soul on fire. What does that mean to you?
Oh man, that means a lot.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can have a goal or a dream or a passion, and it's very easy to get caught up with it. Be scared. You can be fearful, right? You can be scared.
Yes.
You can be fearful, and I think a lot of times is sometimes you can have people not giving you that positive feedback. Yeah, go ahead, you can do it. Or maybe sometimes you can doubt yourself and just say, oh, it can't be done, or maybe it's too much right now. What that means, find your purpose. And when you find purpose, be fearless in trying to strive for greatness, trying to get to that point. So again, can you be nervous? Can you be scared? Absolutely. But
Yeah.
everyone knows that, everything that you want, right, is over that mountain of what we call fear. So it's just being fearless and bringing that passion and going for what you want. And that
Love
means
that.
so much to me because, of course, you can go back and you can think, I had people before I actually transitioned into the Des2Fit corporate wellness. Hey, Des, that's cool that you're a part-time trainer, at LA Fitness when you leave the corporate office, or that's cool that you're, working for this gym and teaching some fitness classes part-time, but it's probably not a good idea to try to run a corporation when you are managing or running financial institutions working for a corporation. You
Yeah.
can't do both.
That's
It
an
can't be
interesting
done.
balance. Mm-hmm. A lot of people will tell you no, but as long as you say yes to yourself, I truly believe in that.
I truly believe in that. And that's what that means. It just go for it. And again,
That's perfect.
I'm passionate about what I do. So therefore I went for it. And at this point, I feel as if it's working a little bit.
That's incredible, and certainly is. Next one, don't demotivate yourself by comparing yourself to others.
Very easy to do, right?
It's so
I
easy to do.
so easy to do. I think sometimes people look at what maybe the competitor is doing or look at what someone else is doing next door. All of us, we're on our own journey.
Absolutely.
We're on our own journey. We have different things that happen in our lives, our education, our culture, our values, our traditions. And those are the things that prepared us to move in the direction that we're going to go. So it is very easy to get caught up with looking at what someone else is doing or the journey that someone else is taking or the steps that they're taking to get to the point of where their destiny is supposed to be. I believe that You have to focus on you and know that you have to create your own lane. And the way you go about doing something is not necessarily the way that someone else would go about doing it, or their life was set up to go about. So again, it's very important to stay in your own lane and focus on you, and don't get caught up with what anyone else is doing. You have to live your own life.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And it kind of brings me back a little bit. I taught and I trained in a Korean art of self-defense called Tang Sudo for
Okay.
20 years. And, one of the things our master always talked about was, don't pay attention to the person standing next to you. Don't pay attention to the person in front of you or behind you. It's all about you. And you might move at a slower pace than somebody. You might move at a faster pace. Certain ranks might take you longer to attain. He always used to say, like, when you go to sit down at a piano, you don't just, if you don't know how to play, you don't just start playing. You have to go through the scales, and you have to take your time, and you have to practice and work at it. And everybody learns at a different pace. So
Absolutely. Yep.
I think that all sort of fits. But going down another Des 2 cents, a third one that I picked out was, your circle is supposed to be proud, not jealous.
Right.
Talk about that a little bit. I know I've seen that personally a lot, on certain things that happen, certain things you do. What do you have to say about that?
Well, it's this thing, right? They say that sometimes when you're in your journey, or you're in your space and you're doing positive things, or you're becoming successful, or you're achieving your goals, right? The people that are close to you, those should be your cheerleaders. There should be your supporters. They should be the ones telling you you can do it, and everyone, and it's the truth, everyone isn't going to support you. Everyone isn't going to be happy for you. Everyone isn't going to want you to succeed. But guess what? Those people that you keep in your circle, they better. Because again, if not, those are going to be the people that's going to be looking to break you down as you continue to advance. So I found this out, in my career, and I, professionally and personally, is that, it's very important to know who you have around you. Because again, we know this in history, people have been stabbing back, and
That's true.
we know that. So again, it's just very important just to make sure you know who you have around. And again, if they're in their circle and they're not supporting you, and they're not promoting you, or they're not helping you to get to that next level, I mean, what are they there for?
Exactly. Okay, the fourth one I have is, in the end, it's you versus you. And I know that, I assume this relates to the self-talk, right?
Yes.
What you're going for?
Yes. This goes for that self-talk, because again, it goes back to this. It's about where you want to be. It's not, and again, it's very easy to, like myself, just for an example, I can look at what some other fitness trainers or fitness leaders or corporate wellness coaches are doing and try to mimic what they're doing, right?
Absolutely.
Right. And or try to compete against them. So now I'm putting my energy, instead of me being focused on my fitness family and their growth, and how my company is impacting them, and how I'm being impacted based upon the production of my company, however you want to look at it, I'm paying attention to the competitor. That's not the way to do it. The only thing that you should be competing against is yourself. You should be competing against yourself to be better than you were the day before, the week before, the month before, because your biggest motivator should be you, not anyone else.
That's incredible. That's incredible. And you know, so many people will ask you that, like, hey, have you looked at what they're doing? Have you thought about this? This person's doing it, so you should follow this direction only.
Right.
And personally, I believe that's my personal success. I believe is by thinking on the angles and not thinking like exactly like everybody else has been.
Right.
I have so many different things I can point to it. It seems like that's exactly what you're doing as well, and I absolutely commend you for that because it's incredible.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. And again, that's one of those things is we're all unique. You know, we have our
Exactly.
the way in many ways, the way that we communicate, the way we carry ourselves, you know, everything that we've learned, the experience that we had, journeys. And, you know, again, it's very important to embrace what you have unique because that's what makes you different. And that uniqueness and those values and what you have, you're the only you in this whole wide world. So why not give this world everything that you have? Because they can't get it from anybody else. You're the only one that can give it to them, and that's the way I think about it.
I love that. I absolutely love that. The last Des 2 cents that I pulled out was, if it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you. I want to hear what you have to say about that.
Oh man, that's a good one. And that's a good one. And let's talk about this because we both obviously got corporate careers as well, right? And we
Absolutely.
know that, you know, sometimes when you're working on a project or you're doing a specific job or doing something, you know, repetitious, it becomes to where it's easy. And you just come in, you knock it out, nothing, right? But we know that when something happens where maybe a deadline changes or maybe one of the components or we lose one of our teammates or we lose someone that's working on that particular project and we have to pick up that weight or whatever the situation may be, right? It tends to challenge you.
It
And
does.
when you're challenged, it changes you because normally when you're challenged, you put yourself to the limit and you grow. You know, so we talk about this, you know, all the time, you know, especially in the fitness world as well. Hey, look, you know, I could do this workout for you. I can design this workout on your app, my app for you. And I know that you can knock out 10 squats. All right, easy. Well, I have to challenge you in order for your muscles to grow, in order for you to get that endurance, in order for you to get that strength, in order for your body to potentially change. So I got to challenge you. So again, going back to that is you need to be challenged in order to move to the next level. In the course of my career, every single challenge, everything that when I got hit, I was working, I remember working, I was a sales manager for AIG during the downturn of the
Oh,
economy.
wow. Okay.
Unbelievable, right? That time period was maybe the toughest times in my career. All
Wow.
right. It
Yeah.
challenged me. And at that point I grew. Right now, this global pandemic, managing financial institutions, dealing with, you know, a bit of the economy changing, a bit of a downturn, dealing with a unprecedented time in this global pandemic. I've been challenged like crazy. So I've been challenged as well in regards to pivoting and restructuring my fitness company, right? I've grown
That's incredible. It's amazing.
because I've been challenged. It forced me to switch gears and change it up.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of people, and everybody handles things differently. So I don't know if there's any right or wrong necessarily, but um, a lot of people in this time can make excuses, you know, and it's there's it doesn't even have to be COVID time. It could be any time. There's always excuses that come up and things like that. You know, one thing that I always like to say is ask for more work. You know, and when you say it doesn't challenge you, won't change you, kind of fits into that because um, when you do the work that people don't want to do, that's where you find those ways to grow. And
Absolutely.
I truly believe in that.
I absolutely agree with that.
That's incredible. So what does success mean to you, Des? I know it's a loaded question, but um, as far as you know, in life in general, not necessarily for your business, but
Yeah, no, absolutely. I understand. You know what? Success, it means so many things to me, Don. I mean, it really does. You know, I would say number one for me is taking care of my family. All right. Being able to be a person that my kids can look at and one day say, my dad did everything that he could possibly do for us. And not necessarily from of the financial thing, but you know, a man should be there mentally, emotionally, and of course, financially when you can, to be able to support your family and to support your household. Um, I believe success is leaving a legacy. And leaving a legacy meaning looking back at this and saying, okay, when I'm gone, what did I leave behind? Who did I impact? And what can you learn potentially from me and a life that I lived? And how am I going to live on in other people? That's success.
you know, it's funny that you mentioned legacy. I was looking at your Instagram, and it's not about what you leave behind. It says, well, it's what you leave within people. And I thought that was a really poignant way to say it, because when you really think about the people that left a legacy in your life that might not be with us anymore, it really leaves something strong inside of you that it's unbreakable. So I absolutely agree with that. So I wanted to ask you, going back to the business side a little bit of Des2Fit, you know, you've partnered with Under Armour Detroit.
Yep.
I know with the American Cancer Society, we're brothers in the Real Men Wear Pink initiative, which is amazing. Repping my pink shirt here today.
I got a little pink in my shirt, I think.
Hey, all right, all right. No judgment there, of course. But you know, it seems like you're doing really well in this from a corporate and community wellness perspective. What was it like when you partnered with Under Armour? And do you have any plans for other similar corporate partnerships in the future?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It was amazing. And again, we've our partnership. We had originally planned for the year. I think it was 5 or 6 events.
Okay.
For 2020, but obviously when COVID hit, it changed, you know, the dynamic of so many things. But it was really, really awesome. Um, we partnered as obviously a corporate wellness firm, and the way the project went, what we did was the downtown Detroit location store, we made it a fitness expo. So
Okay.
what we wanted to do was we had it set up to where we invited all of the corporations down in that area, and we wanted to basically highlight the value of corporate fitness in the area. Because again, like we talked about a little bit earlier, it's very important to understand that dynamic of how being physically fit can add value, not only to the individual, but add value to the organization. Obviously, the reducing healthcare costs aspect of it, because, you know, most people get physically fit, you know, lose that potential to get some type of the chronic diseases, right?
Sure.
Um,
Yeah.
we know that folks who uh, get physically fit and sometimes are a bit more confident, a bit more productive. They don't miss as much work. So that adds some additional, you know, value that way. So we did actually educational seminars, and then we actually highlighted a few of our fitness classes, and we opened to the community. We also partnered with them as well, where we gift cards to get some shopping done also. And we just basically spread the awareness of obviously the value that Under Armour adds, and also the value that Des2Fit adds as well. And it's a
That's incredible. And I can't imagine, what that does. I mean, anytime you have such a strong partner like that, I think, it just shows the strength of your business as well, and how much you guys are growing. And again, congratulations on all of your success.
Thank you, man. I really, really appreciate you. Thank you.
Of course, of course. Um, Des, I have to say, you're one of the most motivated men that I know. Every time I see your posts, it's like, I want to be more like Des. It's like Mike.
Oh no, I want to be.
Like
I think we say the same thing about each other. I see that. Isn't it amazing how the energy I feel the same way about you. Again, I had recently had a conversation. I turned 40 years old this year, and
wow. Okay.
I turned 40 years old August 19th, and I said, you know what, I want to strive every single day to try to be the best man that I can absolutely be. And what I'm trying to do is motivate, inspire, and that's what I want to do every day. It hasn't been easy for me. I had my trials, my
Sure.
tribulations, I had my successes, I had my failures, I had my ups and downs, but I learned along the way, and I'm still learning. I'm still living in this journey. But what I want to be able, but what I want to be able to do is be able to say, hey, look at it from this perspective, or maybe try out this way. This may work for you. I went through this, I went through that. Try it out this way. So I just want to be able to give back to the community, and at the same time, we talked about legacy a little bit earlier. I want to leave something in people, and that's what I'm aiming for.
Absolutely. And as far as that, how do you balance? You're balancing work, you're balancing your day job, your around the clock job with Des2Fit, with your kids, your family, everything. How do you keep a strong balance there?
It's what I tell my my fit fam. It's all about prioritizing and what inspires you. And I prioritize my career, my family, and my business, and my fit family. Right? That's my top priorities. So with that being said, I make sure my day is carved out what means most to me. And that's every single one of those things that I listed. So, I make jokes and talk about, work and work, or I work my butt off. We know that I always talk about that. But when you're really doing, Don, and you probably know this too, and because you're a man of many talents, and you've done many things, when you're doing what you love and what you're passionate about, it doesn't feel like work.
Oh, you're right.
It doesn't feel like work. It doesn't feel like work to me doing those fitness classes, those huge classes, or doing virtual fitness, or doing educational seminars, or creating social media posts and different things that I'm going to talk about, or doing my fitness videos, or taking that time out with my family and going on vacation and doing what I'm doing in corporate America because I love finance and business, so to me, it's one of those things is I've been fortunate enough to find my purpose and to find that what we talked about, that fire, right?
Absolutely.
So even with me talking about it, you see, I can't help but to, be passionate about it, because again, this is what I enjoy doing, and I'm able to say that I'm living a life where right now, Don, and I'm just being honest with you, I'm doing everything that I want to do right now. I'm supporting my family. I'm running my business. I'm still in corporate America. I'm taking care of my community, and I'm continuing to grow and develop every single day. So that's just the truth, man.
That's great. And I love the honesty, and I love I love the way you lead by example as well, because I can tell, you know, in the Fit Fam videos, you have your son in the background and your kids sometimes doing the dances. And, it's just incredible because it shows them that you prioritize that healthy lifestyle and prioritize family and work and how you balance it all. And I think, you know, they're going to be better off for that.
You know what? I hope so, Don. And that's exactly, you know, what I want to do. I want to show that you can be a good father. You can run a business. You can, you know, love your wife and support your wife, and you can take care of community. You can give back to the community. You can do it. It's you don't have to say you can't do it. You just believe in yourself and go in and be positive and like that fiber that you need. You can really do it.
Absolutely. And I love that you can push aside those other things that might not set your soul on fire. You know, just bring it full circle here, and just focus on those few things and do them really well. So that's incredible. You know, and one of the last things I want to ask you is, I always just say hard work is about consistency. I mean, I think that's one of the most important things, is that you're consistently out there every day honing your craft. You're teaching your fitness classes, but you still have to work out yourself, you know.
Yeah.
And you have to do, you know, you still have to do work. I'm sure you have to take work home, just like many of us do. But that consistency, how do you maintain that?
You know, it's just being dedicated to it's being dedicated and being focused on the results and the outcome that you want. You think about this, you know, just playing a sport, right? You can, you know, you say you want to be the Michael Jordan, right? Well, there's no way you're going to come close to being Michael Jordan without consistent work towards your craft every single day, day in and day out. You know, so again, I want to be able to perform at a high level in those different realms that we talked about. So in order to do so is being consistent, because when you're consistent, you're constantly working on that craft. You're constantly learning, you're getting additional experience. And with all of that, you tend to get better at that craft. You know, some people can just have this special talent. I think I might got a few special talents, right? But
sure.
Everything that I am right now and who I am right now is based upon constantly working towards that goal or whatever it may be. So it's just really knowing, hey, this is what I want. This is where I want to be. And knowing that in order to get there is a constant work in progress. And knowing that I have to be consistent day in and day out.
Yeah, I think knowing what you want, that first step, is the hardest part for people sometimes. You know, it's like, you really come down to it, people get so caught up in what they're doing on a day-to-day basis. And if you say, hey, write down what you want, and sometimes you can't get past the first one, you know, more time is usually the thing, but you know, what do you actually want? So I think that's incredibly important. So Des, thank you so much for today. And I want to ask you, before you go, what's next for Desi Johnson and Des2Fit?
Oh, you know what? It's I'm actually, and I know you know this, we talk to each other. I'm actually very inspired by what you're doing right now in regards to your podcast. So we're actually in the process of doing something very similar coming the new year. Yeah. In regards to, you know, and the focus is going to be obviously inspiration and health and fitness and all of those different things. So I'm working towards something like that. Okay. I'm actually, I'm a writer.
I love it. Okay.
So I have a couple special projects that I'm working on in regards to that element as well. So we'll be seeing some of that also. And final is so many things I'm working on. I'm looking at some different leadership development projects that I'm looking to work on. A lot of folks come to me asking about, running a business and marketing and advertising, promotion and social media management, and all those different types of elements as well. So I'm looking to potentially start a project in regards to being able to help folks who don't necessarily know where to start. So that element is well done. So I don't know, man, the way it's looking, I'm not going to be sleeping in 2021.
Oh man, well that sounds incredible. Best of luck to you on that, Des. That's incredible. I can't wait to follow your journey and read the book or listen to the podcast or whatever you have coming. So always a fan. Des, where can people find you online?
Oh, absolutely. So you guys can find me online on Instagram and Facebook. I'm on at Des2Fit. My website is Des2Fit.com.
Amazing. Des, thanks for joining us today. Have a great
Thank you very much. You have a great night, and I appreciate you, sir.
Bye.